What is up, guys? So, I like doing these kind of just talk kind of videos, just authentic, no editing. Of course, I'm still gonna do the well edited videos, well planned out videos and stuff. But I feel like, there are a lot of times in my days where I'm just thinking about things that I maybe want to look back on at some point in my life, but also could be valuable, right? Like, I like being authentic on camera and just like keeping it, uh, like just documenting my thoughts, I guess, whether I upload it on YouTube or not. But yeah, sometimes there are points in my days where I just think about things, think about where I am in my life and the plans that I have, and you know, sharing that might find people who are relate like might find that they relate to me and could be in the same situation even. Whether that's now at the time where I upload this or at some point in the future, but yeah, the well edited videos are still coming. They just take a long, a way longer time to do, and I don't know. I am right now. I've been uploading on YouTube for a long time, but it was on my music channel, so the content creation kind of practice is different from there rather than in this channel. It's just like self development, and I'm still gonna post music related, but it's not gonna be singing. So I'm still kind of getting to the habit. So this is still reps. This still counts in my fucking book. So yeah, um, yeah. The situation right now is, as I've previously mentioned in probably the video before this, where I was walking, uh, just earlier afternoon, was that yeah, I'm in a spot in my life right now where I have a full time job. It's not a bad job. Actually, it's a very good job. It My brother or my cousin calls it like a trifecta: good boss, good work environment, and good salary, basically, which is very rare, right? It's a freelancing job, but I mean, uh, I, I I guess you can't call it freelancing because I have hours. Like, maybe freelancing, like genuine freelancing, is like you mostly working on flexible time. That's my issue with this one because I am getting paid handsomely and stable, right? And the salary I'm getting is just adequate, fairly adequate in like for my age and me living at home. I don't really pay rent. I don't really I buy my own groceries and I help out with bills, but still there's no like real like risk or anything like that. So yeah, but I found this business model which I don't know why I haven't realized that this was an actual business, YouTube and all that. I don't know why I didn't realize that. Or I was just banking on music because I've always been just in the music world, like for longer, right? Rather than the entrepreneurship space. But either way, it's fairly still the same debate, right? But I guess this one, This is more relaxed, I guess, because I'm not walking. But yeah, there's no real risk. It's frustrating, bro. Here I have, finally, a business that I could have done. I actually could have done this right after college, right? I was very consistent with my self-development, with stuff. That was the perfect time for me to try stuff, right? I don't know why. I actually dabbled into it, but I was awkward on camera during that time. So I guess it just didn't register for me to like take it seriously. But now I know the value. And Hamza's Adonis School helped a lot with that. No ad or anything. It's just that I'm in there every day around the same guys who are also in this thing. Not everyone is doing this synthesizing business model. Everyone's kind of doing different things, but it's such a good community. But either way, it's frustrating to me right now. There are times where, like, fuck, if I could for sure just do this thing every single day, every hour of every day, man, I'd be happy. For my whole damn life, I've been trying to find something to bank on. Basically, I know that in my heart, like for the longest time, that I'm willing to go through the trials and tribulations of working hard and just doing things and taking sacrifices, as long as it's the right vehicle. Like it's the right either job or business, it doesn't really matter to me. The right job, the right business, or whatever, it's just the right money making vehicle. Or like, money making vehicle is kind of wrong, but basically the right pursuit, right? It doesn't matter to me, as long as I can see that at the end of it, it's worth it enough. I said to myself that I would put my head down and I would work. And I think I found it. For my whole life, I've been learning things. I've had multiple hobbies. I've had a lot of deep dives on different things. None of them were useful until now, right? Especially self-development. In jobs, in this job right now, or like even in music, spending time on self-development felt like a whole different thing, right? It felt like a hobby. It felt like I'm stealing time away from something very useful, right? This job, or this business model, the synthesizing business model, is basically saying that your self-development is your job. How great of a fucking job is that, dude? Like, honestly, if you think about it, you're working on yourself and you're getting paid for it. That's literally the dream job, right? So every time I think about it, every time I think about pursuing this, for me is just like gets me so excited. I'm visualizing myself in my goal physique, like looks maxing and all that. I'm not gonna lie, bro. And also this is such a Hamza thing to say, but like I care about my looks a lot, and I care. Well, yeah, that right. I've always said to myself, it doesn't matter if I'm a millionaire. if it doesn't matter if like let's say like I'm a very successful like high status, uh, let's say I made it as a musician. Let's say I like all the other fucking goals in my life I've hit, but I am not in the best shape of my life. Doesn't matter to me. It's almost gotten to a point where my physique is basically my success, right? But also autonomy. There's also one thing about this is oh yeah, what's made me realize this is I have this like quote unquote perfect job, like the trifecta, right? But it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me how good the boss is. Doesn't matter to me how good the money is. Doesn't matter to me how good the environment is. I mean, it does matter, but in contrast of autonomy, in contrast of, I usually sleep in this timetable. Like I usually, if in a perfect world, I'd be sleeping at 8 p.m. and waking up at 4 or 5, right? That's my perfect world. I can't do that in this fucking job, and that's why to me it's just fucking it's useless. I know that's probably arrogant to think, but that's literally how I measure it. Autonomy. How much control you have over your days, how much control you have over whether you can move places, right? Like those are the three things that like Mangaji kind of always repeats, right? Time freedom, financial freedom, and location freedom. Those three. That's literally like I would sacrifice every single hour of my 20s to secure those three in my 30s, bro. Like that's it. And if this business model grants that, which is something that like it's not just about money too, right? Like if I just want money, I think the agency business model would be better because it's bigger money for each client, and I mean it's a little high stress or whatever, but still that's like a more bigger cash flow than this. But it's not purposeful. Like why would I care about helping a business that's already doing well for itself? Why would I be passionate about boosting them or whatever? Like it's not really about passionate, but that's the word that comes to mind when I think about this business model. Because like I'm doing now, it's fairly easy. I'm just speaking my mind. This is all up from my heart. And if there's someone out there that like is in the same situation as me and is able to relate to me, you know, like suddenly the world doesn't feel as heavy anymore. Like being in Adonis school and being around these young men who is also ambitious and being just in this like self-improvement entrepreneurship space kind of makes me feel a little validated about like how ambitious I am, because it's just not normal, and feels weird to talk to anybody else about it because you kind of have to tone it down because you sound crazy, although like doesn't really matter in the end. But sometimes you want to talk about it and you just don't have anyone to talk about it. So I'm talking to this camera, and hopefully men who are as ambitious as me find it relatable and feel more like validated. And that's literally the power of this thing. Like, that's it. Like, that's literally why I'm so passionate about it. Like, and I have so much like random just random hobbies that are previously useless, right? Like, I've pursued learning basketball, although not religiously, for over a year. I can see a lot of content in the future. I actually have one content scripted that well, it's not really like fully scripted. My style is usually like talking points, and then I usually riff through that. Still trying to figure things out in the scripting process, but like basketball or like boxing, dude, man, I'm so excited to really go ham on those, because now they're more useful. They're now more useful than they ever were before. Previously, they were just hobbies. Now I could actually, like, let's say, like, one example is, let's say I get to a point in boxing where I'm good enough to spar, right? I get knocked out, and just like all things come to mind and all. Then I learn one lesson from that. Any one of you who is watching, who's also thinking about boxing, could also like live through that moment. And I'm usually like a very genuine and just authentic guy, and what I think is different from me is that I try to go through as many details as I can. It's a little hard to do with like the hyper edited stuff, but like, let's say this format of like more long form, like let's say like when I watch videos like this, it's always like that, like, let's say I want to go boxing, right? And I'm watching someone talk about like their experience with boxing. I've always like just think about like, tell me more, like tell me like the environment, tell me like how it feels, like the aura of everyone there, like how is it, like I want to live through that. Like I want to like, I mean, it's different for everybody, but just that the details matter, like, because one detail there that is mentioned could be game changer for someone. Like, let's say a very specific question that you could have in mind is like, are coaches assholes? Let's just say that, right? Are coaches assholes in these gyms? And that's what's giving you anxiety, and you're finding things on YouTube to like figure out if that's the case. You're gonna help that kid, right? If you let's say I go to my gym and I tell you a story about it, and I go into detail, like the coaches were actually amazing, they were very humble, they were very willing to go through, like, just be patient with us, well, because we were complete beginners, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've already helped you there, like, without even like consciously knowing it. That's what I love about this, and that's what, like, I've only been doing it for like what, 2 or 3 weeks, ever since the yearly video. But I love it, man. Hopefully I get to a point where I could do it full time, because that would be the dream. Yeah. Basically, the practice of this video is how authentic can I go, right? That's what I wanted to kind of find out. How authentic can I speak? Because it's hard to show that in the well-edited videos, although I love doing those, and then that's still gonna that's still gonna keep happening. Right now I have like what, 35 subs, 36, 37, give or take. And I don't know. Like I love these authentic videos. I might have to move them at some point at another channel maybe. But I love the balance of being this authentic. It's not like, okay, it's not that the well edited videos are inauthentic. It's just that it's hard to grasp what the person in the talking in the camera really is like when it's not like hyper cut, right? And when I usually record these videos or those kinds of videos, I have a lot of dead air, like how I do now. Like I have a lot of just time, just thinking. So yeah, that's why there's a lot of cuts, because I think a lot sometimes in the middle of sentences. But yeah, that's it. Those are just my thoughts. I'm probably just gonna upload this, even though, like, I don't know. I hope you got something out of this. Roughly, even if just it might have just been me blabbering. Half of the content that I'm doing here is me just documenting my life and kind of like journaling. I like journaling. I've been journaling since 2018, not that consistently, but I have full books of just like how I think during those times, and this is one of them. So hopefully this just helps you in some way, shape, or form. I'm gonna keep doing this, and I'm gonna keep doing the well-edited ones, because I like doing both, kind of both. I like a little bit more extremes, but that's that. Have a nice day. I'm actually still trying to think of like outro, but that's all for now. Peace out.